The long winter had gripped the northern lands like a frosty giant's fist. Snow lay thick over field and fjord, muffling every sound, dimming every color. The people of the coastal villages huddled in their long houses, feeding the hearth fires with the last of the store wood, telling old tales to keep despair at bay. They whispered of the gods, Thor's hammer still sleeping under the ice, of Freya's tears frozen into amber. But most of all, they waited for the turn, for the moment when the world remembered how to breathe again. High above, in the bright halls where the Aesir and Vanir met, Eostre stirred. She was no warrior goddess clad in iron, no seeress waving fates in the shadow. She was the gentle radiance at the edge of night, the first blush that promised the sun would return. Her hair shimmered like spun dawnlight, pale gold threaded with rose and saffron. Her gown flowed like melting snow over new grass. Around her neck hung a necklace of tiny dawn-washed crystals, and in her hands she carried a staff topped with a living branch that budded even in winter's heart. For months she had watched from Alfheim's borders and Vanaheim's meadows as Midgard suffered beneath the weight of endless white. The ravens had brought her news, children too weary to play, fishermen staring at frozen seas, old ones coughing in the smoke. The balance had tipped too far toward Niflheim's chill. It was time. As the first uncertain thaw began, drips from icicles lengthened into silver threads. Oyster stepped down, the Bifrost faint eastern gleam. She did not announce herself with thunder. She simply arrived. In a small village nestled between pine forest and grey water, a girl named Sigrid woke before dawn, as she always did, to tend the fire and check on the eaves. She stepped outside into the bitter air and paused. The sky was no longer the same dead black. A soft pearl light bloomed along the eastern ridge, and with it came a scent impossible in March. Wet earth, crushed green hills, the faintest sweetness of opening flowers. Then she saw her. A woman stood at the edge of the thawing stream, barefoot, her white gown untouched by mud or frost. She knelt and dipped her fingers into the water. Wherever she touched, the ice retreated in delicate lace patterns, cracking and sighing as it gave way. Tiny shoots pushed through the softened bank, snowdrops, impossibly early, their heads bowing on the sudden dew. Sigrid's breath caught. She could have run for her father, for the elders. Instead, she stepped closer. Eostre lifted her gaze. Her eyes were the color of the sky just before sunrise. Clear, calm, infinite. You carry the old names in your blood, the goddess said, her voice like wind through new leaves. Tell me, child of Midgard, what has winter taken from you? Sigrid swallowed. My little brother, he grew weak. The cough took him before you. My mother still weeps when she thinks no one hears. Eostre's face softened with sorrow older than stone. She reached into the folds of her gown and drew up a single egg, no larger than the thrush, its shell the pale blue of morning. Warmth pulsed from it like small heartbeat. Take this, she said. Bury it beneath the threshold where he last played. Speak his name to the earth. Life remembers. Sigrid accepted the egg with trembling hands. It was warm, alive. As she clutched it, she felt the faintest stirring inside, like a promise. Eostre walked then through the village. She passed silent houses and touched lintels, door frames, the keystone about the smithy. With each touch, frost retreated and color returned. Moss greened on roofs. Catkins unfurled on hazel branches. Birdsong, hesitant at first, rose in answer. A hare, white as winter, darted from the forest edge and paused at her feet. She smiled and stroked its long ears. When she lifted her hand, the hare's fur had warmed to brown, flecked with gold. It bounded away, leaving small flowers in its paw prints. By midday, the village stirred. Doors opened. Faces appeared. Blinking against light they had almost forgotten. Children ran out barefoot, laughing as slush soaked their feet. Women carried benches into the weak sun. Men stared at streams running free again, at fields where dark soil showed through shrinking drifts. Eostre did not linger for thanks. She never did. As the sun climbed, she turned eastward once more. The hare followed a pace behind her, and behind it came others. Rabbits, foxes, deer, each shedding winter white for the colors of spring. She climbed the hill where the first true light always struck, raised her arms, and let the dawn pour through her. For a moment, she was nothing but radiance, blinding, tender, unstoppable. Then she was gone. Sigrid kept her promise. That night, beneath the threshold, she buried the blue egg and whispered her brother's name. In the morning, a single snowdrop grew there, its petals white as his hair has been. The people never built a grand temple to Eostre. They did not need to. They marked her passing in small ways, painting eggs the color of dawn and leaving them at doorsteps, watching hares dance in the new fields, lighting fires on hillsides when the equinox moon rose. They told the children that spring did not arrive by chance. She walked among them, quiet as melting snow, bright as returning light. And every year, when the first thaw came and the world sighed awake, they felt her near, Eostre, goddess of dawn and spring, who once stepped down from the halls of the gods to remind Midgard how to hope again.